Hey everyone, welcome to another MetaStock webinar. We are so excited to have you here. Hope you are coming in safe and sound wherever you are. My name is Kelly Clement. I am your YouTube host today, so I will be the one back here in the YouTube room making sure all the magic works and making sure that you're able to hear and see everything that you're supposed to hear and see. So my name is Kelly Clement, as I said. Jeff Gibby is our GoToWebinar host, and also Peter Dalal is our webinar presenter today. So they'll be joining us here in about 7 minutes to give us our presentation, which is Finding Trading Opportunities in Volatile Markets Using 5 Innovative Patterns. So that's what we'll be talking about today. So let me go ahead and just go in and do some checks, make sure everything's working okay. I'll be right back with you. But as you come in, make sure to say hello. Tell us where you're coming in from. We'd love to hear from you. Okay, looks like everything is up and running over on the GoToWebinar side. We're going to get started on time here in about 5.5 minutes. We've done all our tests. Everything looks good. So we are all set, just about ready to go here in about 5 minutes. So again, thanks for coming in today. We're glad to have you here. My name is Kelly Clement. I'll be here answering any questions on the YouTube side. And also, if you do have any questions, make sure to put them into chat, because we love to get those questions over to the presenter. You're here to learn. Make sure you're asking your questions. We'll get those over to the presenters. Subdo, I hope I said that right. Welcome today. We're glad to have you here. And then everybody else, Subdo, tell us where you're coming in from. Please start. We will start in 5 minutes is where we're starting. So give us 5 minutes. We'll make sure and get going. So that'll happen here in 5 minutes. You can see that counter right there. That's going to tell us exactly when we're going to start, so we'll get started here in just a few minutes on that. While we're waiting to get started, though, one thing I do want to highlight to you is our actual MetaStock annual catalog. So you can actually go to metastock.com, and right here on our homepage, you'll actually see it's spring savings time. Check it out. And if you click on that link, it will actually take you to our current spring sales event, where you can see all the great sales on all the different products that we have available. So if there's anything you've been interested in here at MetaStock, you can always take advantage of that here at our spring sale. So just go to metastock.com, click on that homepage banner, and then you'll be able to take advantage of that. So that is our sales event right there. We are going to be talking about some great trading indicators today, so stick around for that, Subdo, and we'll actually take you through some of the different awesome trading strategies that are being presented by Peter Dalal and how you can take advantage of those. So good questions about what are the best trading indicators. We'll talk about some powerful indicators today and finding opportunities in volatile markets using 5 different patterns. So we'll have that here in just a minute. So let me go do some checks, and I'll be right back with you again. All right, looks like we're looking good. We've got about a minute and a half to go here. Again, it looks like we have quite a few people starting to come in, so make sure to say hello as you come into the room. Make sure you're telling us where you're coming in from. Again, we're here in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah, here in the lovely broadcast room. Jeff is right next door, getting ready to kick us off here in 1 minute. So let's go ahead and do our final checks, and I'll check right back with you right before we get started. All right, everybody, looks like we're ready to get started. Let's go ahead and get the ball rolling. Okay, Jeff, we are live over on the YouTube side. Are you all ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Let's go.
All right, you look good, you sound good. I'll pass it over to you.
All right. Hello, everybody. Jeff Gibby over at MetaStock. Thanks for watching today. Thanks for tuning into the webinar. It's good to see you. I appreciate your comment. So if you are watching us on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, comment. All that stuff helps a lot, and we appreciate it. So in terms of me, I'm Jeff Gibby. I'm just going to be reading a legal disclaimer and introducing our guests. So let's go ahead and get underway with that. Also, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hey, Rafiq, good to see you. Thanks for coming. Sabad Sharma, thanks for coming. Welcome. All right, yeah, and say hi. Tell us where you're from. Today's demonstration is designed to instruct on using MetaStock and the accompanying software plugins. It's not a recommendation to buy or sell, but rather guidelines to interpreting and using specific indicators and features within the software. The information, software, and techniques presented today should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading, and MetaStock shall have no liability for any investment decisions based on the use of the software, any trading strategies, or any information provided in connection with the company. So there you go. Good morning, Dakari. I think you're in New York, so I think actually afternoon might be more appropriate for you. Hello, Eugenia. Good to see you. All right, let's go ahead and Usman, welcome. Okay, all right. Okay, so today's speaker is Peter Dalal. I want to welcome Peter. Peter is a partner of ours. He's been with us for decades. I remember he wrote one of our most popular subscription add-ons called FX Traders Advantage. And he's been kind of working on kind of what is his methods for decades. He's been a very successful trader for decades. And the new products that he's kind of designed are kind of use 5 ingredients, as he's going to talk about today. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome Peter onto the room. Peter, how are you doing today?
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Good morning to everybody.
Good morning to you, Peter. I can hear you.
Okay, thanks for having me.
We love having you. You don't have to even say thanks.
All right. Thank you for everybody who are attending all over the world. I appreciate that. And Jeff, I'm ready to go.
It's all yours. I can confirm that we can see your slides, we can hear you, everything looks good. So let's go.
So let's get started.
All right.
I hope today we don't have time constraints, so we could go over a little bit.
Yeah, we don't have anything coming right after.
Okay. All right. So this is how we're going to run this webinar. we're going to talk about some topics, and the topics you already know. We're going to talk about 5 patterns, or we call ingredients, but those are the things repeat and very simple to identify on each side on any kind of market vehicle, or we call them instrument or securities. So it does apply to every market, which is including cryptos. As long as we get definitive data, we could plot anything, and that's what we're going to show you. So those identifiable patterns, which is so simple to identify, and every chart you open up with this technology of Magic Trader, that's what we're going to show you how to master that, and that you could use for trading without having too much doing technical analysis. We could go on and on for years about those, but what makes you money is the simplicity. However, this software has a lot things embedded in there, because we have to serve any kind of trader, right? So ignore what you don't want it or don't like it, right? But you could use what you feel comfortable, and that's how this software is designed for every level of the trader capacity. So without further ado, we're going to be talking about disclaimer, which I'm required by law to read, but we not going to read every line, so it's not taking away a lot of your time. However, you could get the information about all the disclaimer on our site, themagictrader.com. You could reach out to Jeff, and he could give it to you. And we're going to get started now. So I'll make it simple. I'm not a investment advisor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a CPA. Trading is very risky. There is no SIP trading system is ever been devised. Past performance is not indicative of future guarantee or future results. Everybody who's trading should be only use the risk fund which they could afford to lose it. CFTC Rule 4.41, including Magic Trader, all trading is hypothetical according to the regulators. So past performance cannot be used as future results. Even my own performance, I cannot repeat. The reason why market conditions changes. Just example, last 2 days, what happened? No more rally, right? So basically, nobody should be guarantee anything. Also, I'm not doing any representation. You're going to make a lot of money or lose money. We could do both. And there are issues in trading you should be aware of, such as lack of liquidity, spread between bid and ask. So results from trader to trader varies. Even the same trader in afternoon and the morning, same instrument can change the results. I do trade options, and options are risky. Magic Trader do have symbols for calls and puts, and options are risky, and you should do free education from Option Clearing Corporation, and they got class 1 information, and it's all free. And please go through this booklet they give it to you and supplement, and you will learn a lot. My company is registered with CFTC since God knows how many years, and we took the exemption so I could do what I need to do with MetaStock. So I do not manage money currently. I'm not even acting as a broker in between. We took the exemption of all so I could do this work. But my company's behalf, I'm telling you, I'm not investment advisor, neither I work in that capacity. I'm not a lawyer or not a CPA. So my company is only educating people at this moment. Also, we have patents, so many claims, so many trademarks, right? Please respect that. And so we don't have to deal with people and violate the intellectual property rights, and we don't have to refer to this kind of thing here. I don't do it, I give it to the law firm, and I focus on business. Our registration number we require by law to tell you, you could check out whatever you want to check out, right? Also, time to time I disclose which securities I'm trading, but sometimes I have other people pulling my trigger because I run businesses. So I cannot guarantee every trade I'm going to remember to do it here. So try to understand it. And we also revise these disclaimers often as soon as the law changes or some Supreme Court or any court, circuit court hearing comes out, and we learn from that. So the lawyers do that. We do tell people don't hype magic trader. We cannot tell you he's going to make $1 million, you're going to lose $1 million. We are just interpreting the charts. And this is required by law. We cannot hype it. That's why the testimonials are not there. The regulator made us first time on my first product take out all these testimonials, and they do the same thing. They advise us not to do it. People do it, nothing I could do about it. This is really heart of the success story. And please pay attention to the scalp swing. This is trademark, and I developed based on Magic Trader to minimize or eliminate all drawdowns. It's hard to believe, but people have eyewitnesses. We're not guaranteeing anything, but this method allows you to do it in a multiple time frames. So keep it in mind. And that creates a tax event because short-term profits. So you got to talk to your accountant. So what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about a few things of Magic Trader in this webinar. How to trade with Magic Trader, how to use simple trading strategies, which we going to detail today. Find the best opportunity in minutes. That's where Super Explorer functionality of MetaStock comes in play. And MetaStock 18 even open up a lot of door for you, and I love it, right? And without Explorer, I can't do it. This whole thing even is my own technology. It saves me a ton of time. So we're going to show you that. And this way, you will push your trading confidence. We're going to be showing you, if we have time, how I drill it down. So today, I want to do more practical, actual evaluation of chart, but we still have to do things for people who just came in. So it goes on a record, so they could go back and listen to these recordings. So this is the basic of Magic Trader, and I'm going to explain to you very simple way. So this is one which everything is patented, but this was the one which took me longest time. It looks simple, bunch of lines, but they tell you a lot of stories. So basically, the idea came from my own health because I'm not well for many years. I got many problems, but I'm alive. That's the most important thing. So I always dream when I was in hospital, oh, they're checking my pulses and all these super machines they have it to put all these wires on me. How come we could find same thing in security? That's where the idea really came from. And I figured out. So these few lines here, we call it a health window. We're going to detail few of those lines to use as a simple method to select the trade in a few minutes. And this is we call as a spectrum. I was dreaming the software. I always told people from beginning, this is a combination of galaxy and ocean. All the color candles are like a different color fishes, and they tell you stories. And this was my biggest issue when I was on a Wall Street trading as an institutional trader. Things are not the same what people are talking about. It's hard to believe. And I started seeing things and realizing that according to everybody, even today, buy and sell, but it's not the same. Buy gets different colored here because different institution, different types of institutions and comes in, and we have a lot of evidences comparing the data I got from Wall Street including today from dark pool, and I have a fun showing them in my alert room. Last week I showed them all the dark pools, right? And we could see here what is happening. You don't need to be scientists to figure out. So this color candles comes from there. It's hard to believe, but it is true, right? Because we collecting all the evidences for many years. So this color says catalyst we're going to talk about today. So please try to understand this is very important part. And on option side, it says YB4 and call plus plus. What that means, plus plus is stronger, and bull telling we're going to the moon. So we did. Actually, you could see yourself. So here is the large view, and these are the catalysts you need. This is one of the three catalysts you need to select the bullish direction, and they show up at the right timing. So you could go in the trade at given time, right? If you're looking at this one daily, and then you could drill it down to smaller time frame and get in the game. But there is a method to the madness, what to line up, what items to be lined up. I just giving overview what this chart looks like, just a little bit, not too much detail. What do you see circle blue, right? And it says call plus. So if you are an option trader, you don't need to be scientist to figure out where we're going. We got to buy call or puts, right? And it's very simple, right? Then you still have to use your broker platform and try to see how many contracts people buying or whatever, but at least they clearly tell you where we're going. So this particular case is a forecasting, and I'm not claiming anything, even though it is there, because I did not want it to go and talk too much, right? This does forecasting as it shows here, and it's telling you where we are going. It tells you we're going to make a future high, and it's obvious the things are there, so you don't need to be skeptic. And it's been going on since 2006. So this plays important role in trading. These two lines are not the lines you are used to. They are different. They dynamically changes, and it has a forecasting capability also. Hard to believe, but it is there. But it does not work the same way you are used to use regular looking lines. I wish there was another way to do it, but I don't want to confuse people between these two lines. And you know what? They are not the same, because daily has different magic line, weekly has a different, all the way to the 5 minutes. We have designed them. So that tells you itself they are not the same lines you are used to. And it is scientifically proven that these two lines are different way of funding. And people who believe that they are going bullish, the green line, it tells you anything about that. It is bullish believeness. People when really believe that they're going long or they want to go long, then they pull the trigger, and the reflection is right there. And this is one of the concepts got through the pattern office. So it's not the same what you believe. It is totally different technology. And we call it a spectrum. And this chart, I took it from gold, right? And you don't need to be scientists to figure out. And we're going to show you now how to match all these things. So first thing, if you are bullish, right, mentality, or you want to believe to go long all the time, what are you looking for? First of all, in a health window, this vertical line, that's what is the direction line. It automatically figures out. So it sets up your direction. So that's what called green directional line. And it is a little bit bigger than other lines. So that is a direction line in a health window. Then this bunch of lines here, out of that, we're going to focus on talking about three lines. One is the purple line, one is the blue line, and there is a dotted line. And in an enlarged view, they are here. These are the price, what you call values of these lines we're looking for. So like a 410 is easy to remember. When you are new, you got to find something matching, right? So 410 number, so okay, there is a building I know which has a 410 number. So if I'm bullish, I'm looking at that building, 410. So That's the only thing I need to worry about. Two lines are parallel, and dotted is underneath those two. And we made a decision in fractions of second. That means we are bullish. The third important is this vertical triangle, dotted triangle. Now, this is not the same spike you are used to use with other MetaStock apps or whatever add-ons. This is designed to behave differently. When the base is cleared, that means it's in the middle of this candle. That means it's anchored, and that's the time it is confirmed that we're going to the moon. That's what it is. However, it is designed to tell you few days in advance or few hours in advance, depends upon what time frame you're looking for, that we are going bullish. So if I was having short position, this tells me get out. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt. So that's the built-in feature this spike has it. Other ones, I'm not too sure, but this is designed to behave like that. And obviously, you could see yourself whether the statement I made it makes sense or not. So we don't need to draw trend lines and this and that. You know, I don't do all these things unless trader come from technical background, right? We try to talk about it, right? Otherwise, I forgot about all these things. Now, this is a thick line, which is here. This is a small line. It's a pure health kind of indication here. So in short, when I'm in a rush, I just look at that. And this has also its own story. So this came from this, and quickly I line it up, right? That means I'm going long. And pure health means everything inside health good looks good. That's what it means. So I have some kind of interpretation, avoidance of all the lines with that simple looking line. Now, this is the ribbon, which is different than any MetaStock ribbons. This is designed based on a time risk. As time goes and you're in a trade, right, the security get dragged, right, volume coming in or whatever is coming in there. But as long as you're going away from these, it is risky trade, and you could see the results. People intend to take the profits, and they will try to go to the middle of these two magic lines we call mean risk reversion area, and that's very natural happening on Wall Street. Everybody thinks that way, or most experienced people think way. It is went too far, too long. Let's take some profits, or there's nothing wrong. And on a reverse, you go back in there if things are lined up correctly. And you could see here, it shows the weakness here, right? And these are the symbols we use it. This is a pullback. They'll be different that this was the warning, and this is definitely a pullback. So these are the way we do use these simple looking patterns. So what I did, I put it together, everything, right? And in easy to remember form. So in order to go bullish, right, this line should be vertical direction line to be in place, right? This should be all horizontal and the value should be like that. The green spike is the entry spike, right? Besides direction, so direction is clear and entry. Then this is the health purity, and this is the horizontal time risk. And I want to tell you, the best scenario is to meet all the requirements. That doesn't mean that you cannot take combination of that if this is not existing, because it may have happened before or it will come afterwards. But in order to good to go, this is what I have myself done. 2 or more patterns and a one catalyst will do a job to go directionally long in this case. So doesn't have to be 5 all the time, but you have to learn which one you want. I prefer myself spike and other combination, right? That makes me feel comfortable. You could have comfort zone with these 4 lines, right? And sometimes you feel comfortable with these 2 plus yellow bar. So choice is yours, but they will produce different results. But that doesn't mean you cannot go in there. I just want to put it out there as we have more time today. So what I did it, I put those numbers in a little detailed form, one of the existing chart of euro. So how to trade with those symbols coming into the uh, magic trader spectrum and health window. So let's go back to the basic what we learned. This is that direction line, which is green. So we're going long, we know it. Then this value is number 4. So I put plus 4, plus 1 and 0. So that meets the requirement what we learned a few minutes ago. And this is the entry spike, right? Then this is the pure health and the ribbon. So as soon as you see that, you're good to go. And this catalyst makes you enter earlier. So now what we do it, we do scalping or short-term swing, take some money and then add the profits to this position if we want to, or wait for it come to mean risk reversion area. And in this particular case, there was a forecaster 3.3 on a scale of 1 to 6, 3.2, 2.3. They're good, right? So you need to see your comfort zone. These are the risk designator and forecaster. So basically, you enter here if you miss the boat here. So you collected some money, put it here, and then you could add another position here, and then you could get out if your choice. So some people will get out here. So basically, where to put the stop? Initially, you put the stop below it, right? In this case, below green, then below red, a little bit away from that so you don't get stopped out. Just like here, if you get stopped out, there is no commission anymore. So go back in there, right? So I like to have a logic entry such as mean risk reversion area, and we go back to technicals a little bit. All right, there is a tail formation. That means all the seller gone, the buyers, right, short cover or whatever they're doing. So you could get in there, and in my opinion, it's a less risky instead of going in here because it was going all the way to the moon. I do conservative trading. So this way you will learn a little bit here how to utilize what you learn into actual chart. And I want to give you an idea. And it has been proven over and over again. And there is a method to use it. When it's a -5, this is the forecasting on the opposite side. -5, -6 comes very rare, but -5 with certain symbols, you are prepared to short cover as well as you are prepared earlier to go long. So in this case, I would be going long myself here, right? And way before, this is a little bit advanced for people who are advanced. You could get in there. And what I look for, yellow bar in smaller time frame, 60 minute, and anchoring and triggering, whatever method is in a scalp swing. So I, as an advanced trader, I will be putting small entries here just in case. And when it goes above the magic line, I'm already ready to add and taking profit. So this becomes my swing trade. And this is the advanced method, but people who are existing client, they could learn from there. And if you are not in alert room, this is what we teach there. Take advantage of anytime you are ready. This is one of those. All right, now we're going to talk about same thing for the bearish side. So this red color vertical line is direction line. So we know we're going short or we are looking to get into put option positions. Then this has a different numbers here, 0, 1, 4, but all negative. Below 0 is -1, which is the blue line, and -4 is the purple line, right? So health is bad for bullish guy, but good for people who are shorting the security or buy put option. So you need that to recognize. And as the other side of the bullish side, this is the opposite. Red spike means red entry. So once it gets there, you could get alerted, and it comes in a scanner also. So you have advantage of scanning that spike, and then you are alerted that we reversing, right? So that's a very low risk entries. So that's how I do interpret this shot. So I will take a shot, right? Hopefully it does what it's supposed to do it, and when it gets anchored, you could add more security or more forex lots. That's how I trade. Then this is the purity or pure health, which is for bearish traders. As long as this is there, stay in a trade. That's what I would do it. That's what I'm doing it. So I'm feel comfortable. And if it is the red ribbon, I'm giving you some hints here and there, nuggets, right? Even though green, this ribbon, there's a pullback happening. So I take advantage of that. And at one point, at a min risk reversion area, if it happens to be, I'll add more security to short it. And you need that in as per NASDAQ shorting rules, right? You need to short it while it's going up. That's what we do. And that's what I did it all years I'm on a Wall Street. I like to short in a strength. This way I get a better feel because I know where it's going. Simple. So somebody says, oh, we don't want to use those fancy magic line. It's okay. This chart will tell you. So let's go over with what we learn and if it's making sense here. So this is the bearish direction line. These are the two parallel lines has the value -4 and -1, and they are below zero line. So that's about it. We don't need to become scientists. So you happen to be seeing this is all picture painted. Make believe you did not see it and what to do. All right, so we're going to see if this red spike is there or not, which indicates that we're going short. So it starts forming, even though yellow bar was there, it's telling we're going. There's no controversy, but software was telling here there is a controversy happening. So you don't need to just jump into, but you are mentally prepared. The most thing what I learned from dealing with many traders, they ignore left side, right? Because by the time they check all these things, they're ready to make an action, but they don't take 1 second while flipping the chart. What just happened there? So this was telling, oh, yellow bar. It's a controversy, like don't jump in. No, no, no. The spike was forming. So there is a controversy. So you wait for anchoring at that time. So anchoring gives you the confidence of entering it. All right, when there is a controversy, you got to do that way. Because there are two sets of people who wants to go long and short. So what are you supposed to do? They're both right and wrong. Suppose you were intraday, daily chart, then you made a few bucks. But at the end of the day, you saw this spike. So what are you supposed to do? Stay overnight there? No. Get out and recoup and start dealing with it next day at the open. And then you saw the bear. So now you decide what you want to do. Then in this case was showing put plus plus, right? Indigo bar. So basically it's telling you to buy put option and it has a strength in there. So you got to do what you got to do. Then you saw the pure health, all right, and a red ribbon. So what are you waiting for? And now you enter here and rest is the history. Let's see in between. Minus pi, how to use that? Okay, that's where I cracked the code. So I know my friends on a Wall Street are shorting. This color says certain types of institutions are shorting. I have no problem, right? Taking small position if I'm afraid of that, right? And it was forecasting that we're going to go down. Then it came in back again, same color. I get a little bit cautious when I go to this color because this is the last piece of puzzle and it can retaliate because we're going down and down and down. And this was the last call in order to get out. Otherwise, you get, I call in your construction line, you get whacked. You know, back in days, those bad guys used to whack people. You know the definition. So you get whacked on a Wall Street or Wall Street stocks will bite you. So it was telling you to get out because it's risky to stay short. -6 is the last call. That's how we do interpretation, so simple way. So you could, yes, you could go in between, and in a training, I have a table there, which institutions or which type of institution loves this color. And this was the reason people who believe for years the price is just buy and sell. It is not true. And this one is designed to either way it can go, right? So this is also another invention, right? I wanted to know because that's how I used to get in trouble. I don't know what they're doing. I don't have that sort of, so I did not have that sophistication. So after having cracking the code, I could see this happening in front of my eyes, right? And if you are doing intraday trading, you could trade going long. There's nothing wrong with that, but you have to know what you're doing, right? So you take the damn profit and get out. If you are short, get out. And then you recoup and go back. And these are advanced price perceptors. That's why it has a number, and that means institution setup. That's what it means. And you take it for reality. There's no guarantee, but they put a lot of money to short, in this case, the security. And that's what is so important, these advanced price perceptors. So basically, that came from my Wall Street exposure, and I was frustrated. I want to know what are those pinpointed location where they put a lot of money, and I could not put my hands on when I was a rookie back in days compared to all these geniuses there. So eventually, I figured all out. So this is the best tip you could get from MetaStock, the best one, because that will give you the lifestyle you're looking for, having time, which I had a problem. I'm going to talk later. And the MetaStock 18 has a now search function. That's even make it more. Jeff will tell you later on. I love it because it saves me. I got 800 Explorer. Now it's 1,000. I have to find them in a minute, so I have it, and it does a great job. So that's one of the best features they have it in Explorer. It came in 18. That was a blessing. All right. So you got to understand little things helps you to trade better. So you got to reach out to them. They could show you. These are few experts, right? In Explorer, I use it. So those are the explorers I use to find 5 ingredients or find 5 patterns. We talked about it, and I separated on a 5-5. I used the last presentation. I'm going to show you later with more than what I showed last time. So people who came last time have a more confidence. That's how it's been designed. So they get reassurity what they understood and clarify rest of the things they did not understood. So basically, this has a both, right? And basically, if you are bullish, then you select that. If you are bearish, you select that. Now, these are the results we show last time also. We're going to talk ACMR, right? ARHS. So these are the things. So how you line up them? So this takes one, and catalyst. You need at least one catalyst to feel more comfortable. When you become good practitioner here, you could select few of them. Doesn't have 5, but at least I prefer catalyst so you get that booster system in your trading. And they are low risk entries. Then on 417, I sold JFIN and lung. We're going to talk about that also. So it works on any given market condition. That's what I'm trying to tell you here. So we go back and show you. It worked then, it worked there, it worked since 2006, right? So software does produce because it was designed for institutions. and it was used for institutions. And now we putting in a retail people hands, just like what Refinitiv does. This Refinitiv feed, you guys have no clue how powerful it is. And I want to tell you, I did I did show them what some of the institutions even don't want to spend money. They are getting fooled. And I show a proof what dark pools were doing. They didn't have the data. I can't have it. And that changed everything, the results. So I showed the proof a couple days ago in my alert room, right? So don't underestimate and don't try to ignore it, right? It's a priceless gift. After spending $1 billion they give you for peanuts, right? And I love it. You got to get good at that. There's so much information is there, it's unbelievable. All right, so let's apply these 5 patterns here. So direction line is there. Number 2, parallel lines are there. Spike is there, right? Then number 4, pure health is there, and ribbon. How much more you want? And you had yellow bar, perfect storm, and it went to the moon. And it was telling here institutions are coming. A core plus plus means institutions are heavily committed. This color indicates that, right? And the bull was there. So anybody who knows the bull, so we are bulls, right? We bullish. So we believe that we're going to go long. And why before? This was also a crack in a code. Multiple time frame we figured out how we could see what is happening in a 15 minutes. I don't need to open the chart. 4 indicates 15 minutes. So for existing people, we normally have not come up with the training to do that because I'm busy and we're doing things. Alert room, alert room, we discuss all this thing openly. That's what it means. And there is also some indication, like here, 60 minutes, right? Institution buying, then they could afford. I was one of them. The drawdown. This is the techniques to run the stop. But who was there? All institutions. This game was played purely by institution to chase everybody out, to have everybody right, get them shot, and then they came with a baseball bat, and the rest was the history. And have spike, and there is a lot of secrets in there. Base to base spike. Look, both are touching. So people who already learn, you have to think about why they don't crisscrossing, and there is a reason why. And this was expected because of that. The pullback was expected that, and that's the way institution fool you. These are all games I witnessed right on the floor in many institutions, and I was privileged to hear their discussions. So they call Merrill Lynch, this guy called City guy. What are you doing? Okay. So now technically they are allowed to talk, and this is crisscrossing. 2 different things. So now you learn one strategy. It is lining up. Look at it, everything is lining up, and they had a crisscrossing, and we are inside the risk reversion area, and this was the one of the entry. You could do intraday and make good money on your call options, right? If the symbol is not there, because we use different experts, so I run parallel both of them. So it will tell you buy the call. Buy the call on turquoise bar is huge. So these catalysts do have their own job, and it also tells by its own little world. Turquoise bar is having 3 different personalities. This is one of the personality, continuation of the trend. We were trending up, so this is the continuation. Best time to get in, and that's how you use magic trader. And these are the problems I had it. I don't know, right? And I didn't trusted the regular lines because whatever reasons are, right? But I did not have a choice. So I had to figure out a way. And this came from my first invention, right? And those patterns are still good. And this plays a big role. So we bring it here on this side. And I had to declare in my pattern so they don't get me in trouble with prior art kind of things. It's complicated. They are rare patterns. Okay, so now what happened then? So this was the date I told you guys, right? So if you're a long-term guy or a swing trader for a few days or whatever, or a few weeks, right? So this is weekly chart. So I wanted to show you what happened after that. It did went up. So not only you benefited for a couple of days in this week, you benefited again using this forecasting. And it had a turquoise bar too. And look at the results. So you made money here, use that to get in here, right? So every single little things what I faced while I was on a Wall Street, I use it here to show different symbols. So you don't need to get intimidated by this symbol. It is telling you the story. And if you don't pay attention to this story, you're going to lose the opportunity. And this was one of my biggest issue. Regular ways of doing here is the sell arrow, and God knows when buy arrow and the sell arrow comes when. God knows. So what happens in between? I lost all the opportunity. All we were taught, oh, buy on a pullback, but where is the pullback symbol? It is the symbol here. Pullback, and they started buying. I'm not the only one knows the secret. Then what are you doing? You got to go in there. And how you go? Pinpoint entry with no drawdown. Use scalp swing method. So this is how I use it. I just wanted to let you know after the fact since 417 what happened there. And another trick I want to give you. Sometimes we get all caught into, oh, this is not perfect lineup. When you learn this thing, you got to understand some of the tricks, which I normally did not tell for 3-4 years, even in this particular alert room, right? Method to the madness is when spikes start coming in, direction will not be lined up. However, when it's a real pullback, it's a -3, and the yellow bar came in, it's a shallow. Look at these magic lines. It's a shallow retracement. What are you waiting for? Get in the game earlier. So use this money to go long. That's how you use the software. There are so many secrets I embedded in this thing, and it works together even though they have separately designed, because it is the fact what I learned and I created based on my institutional experience, what my friends will be doing in Citibank or whatever, right? So I wanted to not to talk to them anymore. So I don't have to talk. And I did for first 5-7 years. I will call and say, listen, my software doing this. Are you in position? One guy, I don't want to tell the bank name. Oh, I said, his name start from T. I said, how much position if you don't mind? I put $1.5 billion position. I said, you're wrong. My software says you're wrong. He went on an ego trip for 8 months, and finally they took a couple of $1 billion losses. True story. Why would you do that? I'm telling you. And that's how I started getting confidence in my own technology. That institution also make mistakes. And exact word, my research department told me, okay, New Zealand is going to get better. My chart tell me otherwise. So I don't care what they're saying. I had a fun seeing them making mistake, and I knew it, so I don't need to get involved. All right, let's go here. In here, same situation. Number one, direction, parallel lines, spike, yellow bar. Number four, pure health. Press is the history, right? Yellow catalyst. So let's see what happened here. Oh, look at that. Same one. It can go either way. Risky, but mean risk reversion area was the another entry, and it's a forecasting on top of that. We're going to the moon. We did. So this is how simply you could use it. So I saw this thing, I don't know which webinar on a YouTube. I wanted to today add more results, right? Because I can't give you buy here and sell. Only what we show was this candle, right? And it was doing forecasting, and I did tell that it is forecasting. But by law, I'm not your advisor, but software is forecasting. We're going to the moon, right? and fortunately did. But that doesn't mean is it going to work same way all the time. So let me put to you this way, and you think the rest. How come all of a sudden last few weeks big buzz of AI going on? Artificial intelligence. Let me put you this way. My wife and I went to see somebody who was spying on market makers. He spent $40 million. Now I understand why $40 million as a developer, right? You take out time from other businesses to do this one. Do your math from your previous history, what you make in there, in that other businesses. And now you sacrifice everything to do things which can change people's lives. That was it was designed for. Initially, it was given to institution because whatever reasons are, right? But I bug Kelly and Jeff for many years, and Kelly's here. Every quarter, he took his time to come to check what I developed or I was developing. And he put his personal time. Saturday, he will come because he's busy. But always there was a plan to give it to little guys. But whatever was happening, a lot of changes in a corporate structure, but they took the interest to check Magic Trader many, many times. And there are a lot of evidence. This is not some story here we talk about. And I really thank to him and Jeff to support me all these years. Otherwise, Magic Trader will not be possible for you guys. We have to thank them. Regardless what in business you don't have to agree everything, but the aim was to work together forever. And I want to be very honest with you. I've been approached by many people. I give my word, whether it's in writing or not. I die with them because that's what I believed from day one. So I'm not interested in making millions of dollars giving my patents to somebody else. I'm not interested in. And I'm going on a public and telling. And I've been performing that way. What I promised them in 2003, I gave my words and still is truth. And these two people were eyewitnessing back in the days. All right, so we talk about, let's see, BIO, a short side. And this is the LMBS. We're going to talk both, and then we're going to go a little bit speed up process. So here is the deal. This was happening before we talked about it, but it did work. That's what I was trying to tell. And when to get out? -5. -5. If you are short, get out. You could always come back. It did went a little bit down. So don't be greedy. And everybody in our term knows I'm not a greedy person. I take little chunk out of. I know it's going to go down or up. I still take profit because this market is brutal. And if you are a short term, right, even though it is magic line going down, you could play with the market utilizing these symbols and few dollars you could make it while you're waiting to short position. So here was the short spike is anchored. Oh, it dropped down. This came with gap down business. And I want to give you an idea. Gap down is a perception. And I will tell you why. If you have an access to pre-market and post-market data, there are no gaps. Maybe little gaps here and there, but practically all the gaps, what you see here, people were trading. Either us trading, institution trading, dark pools trading, they are there. So I have no problem taking the position on that symbol. But look, the results are obvious. So sometimes people get clogged into their mind utilizing some assumptions, but you have to use what else is happening and keep an eye on, but you just have to work a little bit harder. And that was this trade. Even though it's gapped down, you could still make money, but you need to understand how it got anchored. That was the key. And believe me, it's a $30-40 differential here. The chart looks small, but look at the price here, $400 to $362. And still it went down later. Come on, 10% is not enough for you. And when you buy options, it's a little bit better. So -4.5, right? Utilizing is a little risky, but you need to drill down to smaller time frame. If they are having cycles going that way, you could still stay in a trade or put the tight stops. And these are not Fibonacci. They are dynamically moving. You don't need to worry about Fibonacci. And this is also we have the pattern for, right? And right now they look horizontal, but you have to see there's a whole world of secrets lying into those lines. We normally don't talk about, but they provide me where it's going to go way before it comes in from the left. In the left, they decide what level this should be, and they lock in, and then they dynamically change. Then we got to change. You could see here, there was a little adjustment right here. It's not straight. It was an adjustment here. So what I was struggling with Fibonacci was that they are subjective. We don't know which one to use or what other people are using. I said, hell with it, right? And I want the dynamic changes of the market and forecasting at the same time. Now, you could name that forecasting as an artificial intelligence or whatever you want to. I don't care. But I was inspired by my friend when I went to see they created artificial intelligence. Final product was in 1998. My wife and I went there, and I witnessed in half an hour the guy was spying on a market maker utilizing artificial intelligence in 98. And he told me he was professor in NYU. That's the closest I could tell you. That he spent $40 million. His father was a market maker, so he decided to get help of the guy who developed Atari and spy on market makers and revenge. Kind of, he had a nature of revenge. He wanted to teach them a lesson for whatever reason, and in front of me. So I thought this guy maybe by accident, right? So we went for a whole week, and I could not believe how much money he's making. It's unreal. Guys in Saudi Arabia, for your knowledge, he is a partner with Saudi king. I had a fun with this guy. I'll tell you honestly, he was a so funny guy. But here another example, lining up. These magic zone levels were there. Once they break it, went to the another level. Can you trade that way? All right, you don't want to believe anything, but at least when it crosses below it, or is forecasting we going down from one level to another level, you can make few bucks. No guarantee, but you don't have to worry about what is the level. It is done for you. And a good thing about MetaStock 18, those levels are populated here. So you have to just know from 454 we went to 365, or we're going to go at 365. How much more you want to be clear? I give you one strategy. You see a forecaster, where we going to go? It's forecasting we going down for where? Magic zone level. That's how we trade. You don't need to be scientists. I think there is a typo here. It should be -3. All right, so I apologize for that. It should be -3. So this is how I would like you to start using, especially existing traders. I guess I did it right here. So look, this also went down. I checked the stock after this event, and it went a little bit further down. So it can go either way. So whenever it is having this color, I know what institutions are going to do. They could snap it, right? They could snap it, and because all right, the what do you call the thing is right. It's shallow retracement. All right, some news are coming. Let's cover it up, and they could retaliate. And news comes good, all right, be back in business, and they switch back to previous game. That happens every time. I'm going to make it short. My daughter is very important in development of magic trader. She's very young age, 9 years old. She was involved in all my businesses, right? And she played a big role helping me developing this software, all these symbols, or selection, put it together. It was her role. All the manuals, she wrote all this manual for me because I'm not good at that. I guess she's pretty good. And she also writes patent claims, right? So she was involved. So she's a co-inventor, right? And her heart was in there. That's what I want to acknowledge, right? And I was just damn lucky to have her in my. She's married now, and she does have licenses, which I do have it. So I make sure she learn the business the right way. And she has acted as a commodity trading advisor before. Right now, she took also exemption for everything, right? So we don't get in trouble. We don't want to advise right now anybody. Again, I have the same licenses. I've been around. I was a regular trader, buy and hold kind of before I came to this country. Then I started learning the Wall Street. I was just fortunate to be with the right people. I was doing still construction, right? Multiple businesses in my blood, just like my father had it. So I enjoy challenges, and that's how I'm not a software engineer. Neither I was a developer. By accident, I become a developer, right? And I liked it. So basically, I developed something and I kept secret from MetaStock because I had to file for patent. But I gave them everything, and they know, right? I don't hold any bars, right? Because I trust them. They're good people. I argue with everybody, right? But at the end of the day, they were there for me. And I will publicly admit it wasn't for Jeff and Kelly. I won't be around here. You don't need to go to details. This sentence means a lot in my life. It is true story. Jeff and Kelly gave me the biggest boost of development of Magic Trader. They changed my life. So you got to understand what people do for you. Okay, WhatsApp messages. All right, Jeff will tell you. Right, he briefed me before he got some email. Okay, fortunately or unfortunately, right, I've not been proven wrong yet. I have been writing on a Wall Street. I predicted 4 crashes in writing, not after the fact, before 2 years, 1 year, right, including this, what do you call, including this crash for the virus we had it. In 18, I started telling. And, fortunately, you have this technology in your product. Bond inversion is the way I predicted this market. And basically, it is given to you in Magic Trader. And you cannot get away with this problem as long as the banks exist. All right. As long as people buys T notes, T bonds, and whatever, right? You need to learn that. And they tell you what is going to happen next, right? And that's how 2020 crash was predicted. And I spoke publicly in Chicago and Atlanta just in a January before crash. And I was telling that now it's going to go to 18,000 and some change. And I give them the calculation how I came up with that in a public. And people don't want to still believe and they're holding the security. All right. And I even told it's going to turn around and it's going to go to 35 to $33,000. I did. I show the whole thing in Excel based on Magic Trader. And I share free of charge, no string attached into WhatsApp messages. I've been getting a lot of good feedback. And I wrote for last few days this crash happening and what levels are going to be executed. And it did happen, including this morning. This is not some kind of joke. I put my neck on a line very meticulously, not telling people buy it, but I could tell you based on my software where it's going. And that is good enough for a lot of people to save their financial future. We're not telling they should be buying or selling, but they are more aware of that. And you will be surprised. This is not one time, every day. Many times I send messages, including stocks too. But people, DKNG, proof is there. Market was going down and I put DKNG. ACAD was another one. Either it was being given a WhatsApp group or in my alert room. I bring their attention to look at that. right? And that's the best I could tell you to educate people so they don't lose money. There's no guarantee you could still lose money, but they get damaged less. That's the whole idea of giving back to the society. And I've been doing many years. This is not the first time I'm doing it. Before the software was released, every day I was writing on a Facebook group, what is going to happen next, kind of thing, with labels too. Now lawyers don't want me to talk too much. Okay. These are the areas generally you could use Magic Trader, right? So as long as MetaStock gives you the data feed, you are good. Then, as I told you, this is not price-based software, it's based on the risk. So different categories involved in a risk transfer, control, analytical work, access. And these are all looking Chinese. We don't care. Symbols does all this job, right? And forecaster also are tied up with the risk. So forecasting, even though you're artificially telling people that we're going to go away, right, or we're going to go bullish, but it has also risk factors with that. And because this platform was scrutinized by a regulator for 2 years, otherwise they won't let me go publish onto retail side. I did my homework. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And they were very nice. They liked it. Every step of the way, indicating the risk was their favorite because they loved it because people can be aware of that. So you got to decide one buy and sell or what happens in between. What is the risk every step of the way? Those things work buy and hold. It will not work in this market. So this software does perform. There are more than few hundred trades set up every day, regardless what is happening. And I'm underestimating. There are much more than that. People are witnessing. So I'm going to give it to Jeb. Then we're going to come back, do some charts and questions and whatever. But I would like Jeb to take it over. And he has a lot thing to talk about Magic Trader.
Peter, before we go on, can you back it up to the side that was the WhatsApp side? I wanted to talk about that a little bit and just highlight that.
You want me to go back?
Yeah, just to the WhatsApp side.
Okay.
Because I actually had put it together a slide like this, but yours looks better. so we'll use yours instead. So actually, we have a couple comments that are in the room, and I got a really nice endorsement of this morning by email. But I wanted to make sure that you guys are aware that this is something that you can do for free. You need to download the WhatsApp app from your phone, and then if you send a text to Peter's number, 917-476-4722, with your first name and last name, you can get complimentary market analysis. And you send that out every morning, Peter?
Morning, during the day, because market don't wait for me, right? So if I see something, I'm talking something.
Yeah, I had just one of your longtime I don't know what the right word to say there is. One of the people that have been kind of following your advice, and you actually sent a message this morning saying how helpful it was for her to get the morning messages and how she had felt like it was really, really good. So if you do nothing else, download WhatsApp and text 917-476-4722 to sign up for the market analysis. And Dacre also said in the chat that morning market analysis Peter sends us has been holding true in the recent days. It has become very confusing in trading, but getting morning messages make it clear about what to keep your eyes out for. So I'd recommend you do that. The cost is just you have to go in and download WhatsApp so to your phone and then kind of just send a message. So it's a great resource. It's a good way to kind of, if you're interested in getting familiar with what Peter's doing over there, and it's free. You should do it. That's what I wanted to highlight, Peter.
Can I interrupt? Not only market analysis, right? General market. We started doing institutional type of analysis, which involves all the levels. You know what that means, right? When I'm telling what I'm looking at, these S&P futures going from this level to that level, right? And I'm putting out those levels way in advance. Just like I did today, early in the morning around 5-6 o'clock, that market is going to hit, right? Step by step, right? 43, what do you call, is going to go to 41.37, and then if it doesn't hold, it's going to go 24, and then if it doesn't hold, it's going to go around 11. Do the math. And this is not the first time. I have a history of doing it for years.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me kind of take a little bit of a distraction, but she said you should highlight this. And I'm like, we should. I thought it was a great idea, so I figured we would. So
I kind of keep quiet a lot for a lot of things, because then people say, I'm talking about myself. So, people talk both ways. But these are the things, there's no cost, and it's helping the trader. That's what our goal is, right? Our goal, Kelly's goal, to help the traders. That's the reality. And you make few bucks, right, providing this service. But we're putting so much time, and MetaStock has put up, I cannot put a price tag on that. It's a priceless amount of efforts. Believe me or not, they have a lot demand of development. And this whole staff putting so much efforts in Magic Trader, because they also know what it brings the value to traders' life. And it's a matter of time. We have everything new. There's no Google you could do it. And we put a lot of restriction because we don't want people to misunderstand it and lose money. Right? Eventually, there will be 1,000 people teaching that. But all right. So go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'd like to do, we do have quite a number of questions, and what I would like to do is actually talk about the offer that we're going to do today to help people get started.
Okay.
And then we'll come back. There's a couple questions. There's more comments to read, and that kind of stuff. So will you stay with us for a few minutes?
Yeah, I'm going to be here.
Okay. Awesome. Then in that case, let me just kind of talk a little bit about the special offer that we've prepared. So let me go ahead and show my screen. I can go ahead and turn on my camera for a moment, give you a nice little wave. Oh my goodness. Sometimes when I turn my camera, it kind of just shows me a great big picture of me and I can't see my screen anymore. So I've got that situated. And let's go ahead and kind of just talk a little bit about the Magic Trader add-on. And I think to do that, what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and come in here. This is what I had actually put together. So as you can see, Peter's side was a little better. But for Magic Trader Elite, it's absolutely a very, very big very, very big add-on package. One of the things I like to say when we talk about MetaStock, and we talk about MetaStock a lot here at MetaStock, if you might imagine, but one of the things I like to say about MetaStock when people are talking about it is, like, it's not something that you're going to easily outgrow. There's so much you can do with it, with like the market scanning, the system testing, the forecasting. I think Magic Trader is also like one of those add-ons that you're not going to outgrow as well. I'm going to show you some things you could start to look at right away, but as you go through more training, as you get more comfortable, there's definitely a lot of stuff in here. There's a lot of depth to it, and it gets better as your knowledge around Magic Trader improves. So, for example, like Magic Trader includes 58 indicators, 47 exploration, a couple of expert advisors, a huge amount of templates, and a 127-page manual. This shows you 102 symbols. It's got the highlights in there and the commentary window, which I'm going to show you in just a second as an asset. In addition to just the Magic Trader, we also recorded, Peter gave a very, very, I mean, normally when we sit down and do here's how you use this add-on, it's like an hour or two long. We created a 6-hour boot camp where Peter really gets into detail about how to use it and what the signals means. And Peter's a great teacher, so that's included as part of Magic Trader Elite. Okay, the retail cost of that is like $199 a month. And I just want to kind of just show you a little bit about kind of the product and what you can expect to see out of the box before we go and talk about some of the other training. So let me jump into MetaStock right here. This is a chart of Tesla. Tesla's had a nice little run up recently. I think from right here to about right here, it's run up about 20%. But if you're looking at Tesla, Tesla's a stock I like to look at. I know it's a very popular stock that's out here. Right here, we had a nice little run up in the first of the year, and then we kind of had this big sideways pattern that we've been kind of experiencing for a little bit. Like, it's been a few months. You can see right here, the color coding on it is kind of giving you not very good feelings, aside from like the yellow bar and a little bit of a spike. But if you just paid attention to it just recently, here you had a red spike followed by a green spike followed by the yellow bar. Your horizontal time risk went bullish. Your levels up here went horizontal. And it's kind of giving you a bullish pattern. And it kind of makes it easier to see for me, quite a bit easier to kind of, because it's all color coded, everything, once you understand where everything is drawn in, it's actually becomes very, very clear for me. But in addition to that, like one of the things that we have in the, if you're new to MetaStock, this is what we call a commentary window in MetaStock. And if I'm looking at this, I'm just going to make sure I'm on the very end bar. So it's looking at this PB bar here today. But what this is going to do is it's going to help break down kind of what's going on. So if we're looking at the ingredients, we've got a bullish magic direction line. Our health indicator is neutral. Our spectrum strike is bullish. Our pure health is bullish. Our horizontal lot time risk is bullish. And it goes into more details about what all of those mean. I'm not going to read those out because that becomes quite boring quite fast, but it all breaks everything kind of down for you. I really like that Peter had a good vision for what like a good expert commentary should look like, because he developed and designed a really good one. Okay. One of the things that I think is huge about MetaStock, one of our best assets, it's something you can't do. Earlier I had a question about a competing platform in the YouTube comments, but one of the things that I think is the biggest benefit that you get with MetaStock is the ability to scan. With MetaStock, you can scan any market that we cover. We cover several hundred markets. You can find the signals and the patterns, and it's just not something that you can do as well, or if at all, in other platforms. So, for example, if I wanted to go in and run a scan and kind of get a list of all of the ingredients in an exploration, all I need to do is I'll open up this Power Console. I'm going to come to the Explorer. All of the Magic Trader ones are up at the top here. But if I just wanted to run a scan and see where the ingredients stood on different stocks and be able to comparison those, I can just go ahead and select this. Actually, let me go ahead and I had to just make a small change here. I'm going to unselect all of them. I can run this exploration against the 5 ingredients. I can go to the public list. It's got like S&P 500, NASDAQ, and S&P 100, I believe, are what's selected in here. So if I run, oh yeah, you can see them right here. So if I run them against those lists, I can just run a scan. And it's just going to come back and show me, out of all those stocks that are in that scan, which ones have which ingredients and which are bullish. And it's very, very easy to run. Very, very easy to see. And for me, the benefit of scanning is to be able to ignore the noise. I think you'd agree that in the market, there is a ton of noise. Like if I'm a stocks and options trader, there's 4,000 opportunities, 4,000 stocks that I can take options on. And so what I want to be able to do with a real quick market scan, and you can see it's done, is I want to be able to identify which ones have a good opportunity. So here you've got all the explorations kind of written down. You've got all of the ingredients, so you can sort them. You can kind of see which ones match up and kind of identify very, very easily what's going to happen, or not what's going to happen on the chart. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say that, but you can see where the ingredients are lining up. If you're looking to kind of take a bullish or bearish position, I can come in here and filter on these bullish columns or the bearish columns to kind of find what works for me. So I love scanning. I love scanning in MetaStock. It's something that I do every single day. And this, of course, is going to include scanning because that's one of the things that we do best. All of that's included in the Magic Trader exploration. If you don't have MetaStock, if you've never heard of MetaStock before, if you're interested in doing Magic Trader Elite, we'll either give you what we call an extended trial to MetaStock, where you buy a month and get the second and third month for free, or you can just do a free trial as long as you're subscribing to Magic Trader. So in any case, but yeah, it's fully integrated. It's got all the explorations, the indicators, the symbols, the scans, everything that you would want in a well-designed app for MetaStock. So let me go ahead and go next here, and we'll just talk about kind of some of the other training. So with Magic Trader, if you just sign up for Magic Trader, you'll get that basic training, which goes into incredible detail. One of the other things that we did with Peter is we sat down and we did 20 hours of recording. Over 4 different modules. You can see what the modules are here. And it was very, very thorough. I think we did them, if I remember right, we did them quite a while ago. But it was basically over the course of one training per week for about 4 weeks. Right. Those modules are all recorded. They're available on instant access. So as soon as you sign up for them, you'll be able to get them. And they cover like the fundamentals, the dimensions of risk. I'm not going to read all of these, but you kind of get an idea that they're very, very comprehensive. And those retail normally for $9.99. So he also talked quite a bit about the Magic Trader community. That's free. That's included as well. The offer that we're going to do today, though, is for Magic Trader Elite. If you want to subscribe to that, well, actually, like it's just a retail offer of these. So you get the Magic Trader Elite. That's normally about $5.97. The Magic Trader Elite recorded training would be $9.99. The educational portal, that's always free. You should sign up for it. It comes as part of it. You get the bootcamp training, which is normally $3.99, and then we're also going to throw in a bonus ebook that you can sign up for. So the total value for that package is $2,094. If we go to the next slide, here's what we're going to do for you. So if you want to get, if you want to subscribe for 1 month for Magic Trader, we'll give you the second and third month for free. Okay, but we're also going to include the training available as well. So we're going to give you 3 months of Magic Trader, the recorded trainings, the educational portal, the bootcamp training, that free bonus ebook that we're throwing in for the first time today. All that, instead of being $2,094, you'll be $799. So this is only good until May 31st. And to take advantage of it, give us a call at 800-882-3040. You can't get this offer online, but you can chat online with us at metastock.com/sales-chat, and they can help you get that set up as well. So you'll get for $799, you'll get access to the 3 months of the Magic Trader Elite service, the recorded trainings, the education portal, the bootcamp training, and then that bonus ebook. Again, $799 is the price that you'll pay for that. So if you already have Magic Trader and just want to pick up the trainings for $799, you can do that as well. Just give us a call, 800-882-3040 or metastock.com/sales-chat. So I think that's it. Let's go ahead into Q&A a little bit. So, let me go ahead and do this. And hold on just a second. I've only been running the webinar room for like decades now. Let me go ahead and go back here though, and we'll get Peter back. So where did my attendant? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. I know what I'm doing. Trust me. Let me go ahead and make you the Peter the presenter again. I'll go ahead and click on yes. Okay. And then Peter, let's make sure we can hear you again.
Can you see my screen? Yep. Can you hear me?
I meant to turn off my camera and turned off my audio, so I can hear you, yes. And
okay, can you see the chart?
We can see the charts.
I could entertain the questions.
Yeah,
before I do that, this is one of the stock we talked about in alert room, right? And here the magic zone lines, magic, we had this symbol, and you did do the math. 2 spikes came in. There was no other thing. Parallel lines came in, right? And everything else was matching. Look at that here. Breaking new highs. Now you see the application of zone lines?
Yes, we can see it.
You could see it?
Correct.
All right. So we talked about in alert room right here. And I give them the list of the stock to watch, right? It's up to them what to do. They have the trainings, 2 parallel lines, forecasting, right? And the pure health, right? Even on a second phase, it matching, right? So you're good to go. So generally, this is a bull and bear fight, right? Right here. And it was dancing. So sometimes what people afraid, which I was afraid too, that's where the zone invention came in. So upon observation, suppose it's a black bar, that means neutralized. So I could take another risk to go longer. And if the forecasting is there, advanced price perceptor, I'm going there. And technically traders today, they have the zone level scanner, right? And they could scan even advanced price perceptor. If they are in a first zone, what are you waiting for? We gave them scanner for the zone lines, and it tells you the location of each security where it is right now. And you use second scanner, which is advanced price perceptor scanner, and do that. They don't have this one that in the future, but basically they could get so many opportunities like unreal. And this is part of the invention, the shift, right? And shift is happening. That means it is moving higher. It is part of forecasting practically. How the software knew we're going higher. Combination of two types of forecast. And look at the magic line forecasting to go higher. People believe to stay above the green line. And that is happened to be on a fifth zone, means a uppermost zone. That's bullish. So you don't need too much detailed technical analysis. Just observe few things. Suppose you miss the magic line, the other one will confirm by itself because institutions are buying here. So why not you? Oh, it's top of the mountain. It is too far from mystery. What do you expect to do when institutions are taking risk? You know, what do you call, Jeff? That delta invention will give them that confidence because it clearly shows market makers are buying in black and white. You can't make things up. That's the down the road. But the thing is, it is there. And look here, bigger picture. This green color tells me all institutions buy. The whole market dropped right last 2 days. 2 days profit taking. Look, the security going opposite. And I will tell you, today this scan came in. I'm not giving you any recommendation. Write it down. Watch a couple of those. It's crazy. It is really crazy. This came in several scan. Right? Write down these names and check yourself. I don't know what it's doing right now, but it came in. Right? So basically, PANB, ANF, KUSA, URBN, they all came in. And there is a stock, I don't know much stock, but you do your homework. They all came in while whole market is crashing. RETA, that's another one came in. Then you got to do your homework. It is insane. Look at here, advanced price perceptor. Jeff, you could see here, look, advanced price perceptor. They could scan it and they could scan Turkish bar. Look at the whole wick is going to the moon. You don't need to be a scientist to figure all out.
Okay, very cool. William, is it a good time for a few questions from YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. Will in YouTube wants to know, are magic line crossovers significant as well?
Oh, they want to see the, okay, so let's say any chart, doesn't matter. Let's see, this is more cleaner. So let's open up weekly, bigger picture, right? So I'm going to make a copy, and this is I would like people to do. So don't mess up your template or layout by accidentally you save it, you duped. Okay, I'm going to shrink it. So this way we could roll it. Okay, magic line cross, right? This is normally we do it. I will tell you, even though it's telling, yeah, eventually it's going higher, but try to trade closer to the magic line because risk is higher. Otherwise, in this color, type B institution, I buy, right? Because the forecaster said so. But how to use this cross? I usually try to trade before the cross because that's traditional. Cat is out of the cage. So how you do that? Price perceptors and line up. So here is the direction line. This is read earlier. 2 times they try to neutralize everybody and every selling, right? So here was the perfect proof that I could go long. And it says here buy the call option. And there is an escalation. That means unusual. That's what it means. So I don't need to worry about unusual option activities. It's already there. It's unusual. That means I need to buy it at lower prices. Implied volatility is low. And who's on the left side? Institution. So cross is there. But in my opinion, this is what institution desk used to do earlier entries, and you want to buy it when it crosses. All these things adds to the risk. Now, if these symbols is telling me we're going to the moon here, right? Why not? That's the way. So my risk is always controlled, right? And I don't need to follow any traditional method of trading. And I was determined to find, but magic line trades, and when you close above magic line is practically bullish, and when you have triangle here, direction line, what are you waiting for? And here it confirms that all selling is done. And that's how you use that. So the cross is there, but once it cross, I want to show you the power of the cross in front of your eyes. You pick up your entries, even though it closed below it, yellow bar showed up, we're going long, right? Here it's -3, so risk is low. So I take advantage on the second yellow bar and go in there, and it was telling me 60-minute trading desk is buying, and it's a plus plus, very strong. Look at the strength. I just pick up randomly this thing, but this is how I looked at the picture. And I want to give you the hint for the existing user. We call it a swan. And I don't want to get into those things. This health window has itself is designed to have so many patterns based on the internal health. And that tells you the story. In this case, the yellow bar, right? Yellow bar was right on the nose of the swan. That means we are stronger. So this is how I use this software for my own deals. Risk is low, low, low. That's what we want. And that's what we're looking for. All right, Jeff, go ahead.
All right, I think we have time for one more. Let's see, I believe it was Oscar Will that wanted to look at the QQQ.
All right, so you want to look at all charts first? Let's look at that. In fact, I wrote it, 14,000 has an issue. And QQQ recently, I wrote it in one of the WhatsApp message about QQQ. People can read it, but I will analyze anyway.
Okay, great.
Hold on, I'm trying to open the chart here.
Oh, good.
All right, right now, right? No buy and sell or hold any recommendation. This is what I would do it. First of all, my health is getting weaker, and it gave me heads up when. Right here on 522, 2 days before, is telling me we're going down, right? So when you don't even see it, you open up a smaller time frame. Let's see if I could get it there. Smaller time frame is a part of the template, right? So let's go 522, 522. We had a lineup. That means we're going down, right? Here it came in a bigger time frame, slow in a way because they have to put all the time frame together, right? They're going to react a little slower than a bigger time frame. So on a 523, it started deteriorating. So I like to stay away from that as long as, read what I just said. If it does not close below it or break this level, I will look for pull back to the upside, and they will try to retest some of the level. And having QQQ is stronger. And how we can tell stronger, because I watch it, right? But how to you to learn. So what do? You make a copy, right? And see what it's now doing. And then your SPY doing. If they're not making new highs or having this, I cannot tell phenomena, but this feature of breaking, then that means they are slower. So DIA, let's say DIA. And this is what trader has to do, not just depend upon what the other guys are doing, right? Look at Dow. Dow is dead. Look at this here. And look at this. So NASDAQ is stronger than Dow. That's what we established. And they're telling we're going down. So they're going to drag this index or QQQ to the downside because in a sympathy or whatever you say. But we are breaking new zone levels, and we are going opposite here. So that means market is going to weaken. They don't all go all the time in the same direction, but when they opposite, there's something going on in the market. That's what's telling me, to be honest with you, we're going down. And they're going to drag everybody with them. So let's go and talk about uh, SPY. What happened with SPY? And I look for the clues. SPY. You do the math. We couldn't even go to the high level. That means this whole thing is messed up. And that's why market is doing what it's doing. However, QQQ is still strong. So as long as it does not close below it, right, we are in a not bad spot. I cannot tell you we are safe because nothing is safe. So what I look for, right, right away, I screwed it up. Hold on a second. I look for green spike on Nasdaq as a leader, and basically another way to look at is IWM. Right, go to IWM. Why? Because what happens here, a lot of short covering does happen and start from Russell 2000. If you don't know, write it down. All the hedge funds, a lot of hedge funds get caught by surprises. IWM. So I look at the IWM. So recent rally or so-called rally was all very risky. How I know? Because if they were bullish, they will be on upper zone. And once they cross middle zone, everything is risky. This is the last cry out, right? If it breaks it, party's over, right? And when did this software told me? A long time ago, this level. Let's see the difference between Fibonacci and them. You want me to get started? I'll go to the straight line. Look at here. This level was established when? 424. Way before it happens. It forecasts future. It is inbuilt. You can make things up. Look at here. The other level was forecasted when? 4.6, because it's a dynamically adaptive levels and forecasting at the same time. It was a little difficult for me to figure all out, but damn thing works, and it has so much to offer. People have no clue, and we have not talked much about it. I just started giving some hint to the trader because they got overwhelmed. That doesn't mean they were not there. They were my third invention. How I could forget them? And there is so much secrets in there, their behavior. So you don't assume by yourself. You need a training. Otherwise, you're going to assume wrong and you're going to get in trouble. So long story short, QQQ relatively is stronger based on what? AI bandwagon. And Google is the one who created recent rally, to be honest with you. They had to say something in one of the conference, and that people took it, and then everybody joined. NVIDIA joined the bandwagon. Everybody. So look at the NVIDIA, where it goes, right? Like see NVIDIA. You have to learn to see the peers, what it affects, and how they're behaving, and when they lose the steam. Unless you don't do it, you're going to be going flat. Look, more or less, what is happening? They're still stronger than QQQ. So people have a belief, and we are in a pullback zone. Now D1 says me it can go either way. So I myself will be waiting for it to pull back, and hopefully with this S&P level 4114 today after 2:30 minutes of meeting, there is some hope. And second hope is the compromise between two parties for the debt ceiling and the debt ceiling. So now you got to see upcoming risk. So you want to play with the market? What are the odds of winning? And this doesn't come in a, and I don't want to say much, but the last invention is to incorporate, and it's been filed, so nothing anybody can do about it. And I need help from MetaStock, and that will be shown as an indicator automatically in the future. No guarantee. Don't call MetaStock when it's coming, but it has been already filed, right? All economical things. Then will be more stuff coming out, right? But the point here is, I wish I had that indicator, but this will affect all trading. So in a comparative basis, who's stronger, right? Now it's just NVIDIA change, right? So you got to watch, but this one pull down further in the middle. This is still holding to the magic line. You see people believe in it, but there is a risk. So you need to compare this thing with other securities. So basically you get a clue what is happening next. Magic Trader does its job. It does tell you it's going to go here at one point. It's already done, right? I don't need to put any Fibonacci or anything. That doesn't mean Fibonacci is wrong. I grew up with Fibonacci, but I saw the problem, right? And I said, I got to find something which I could use it and I could change other people's lives. That's what the whole motive was. And it does tell you. You don't need to worry about putting higher. I don't even use them anymore. So I don't want to talk about it. But that doesn't mean people who are using, they are all bad, but they did not have the right tool at that time. That's what the whole discussion is about. But it is true, QQQ has a lot of institution commitment. In a weekly chart, these symbols or this color is institutional and go into the training. When I started, we already have that. And you can make things up. And it is true, tons of money, and I could prove it from CBOB call options, right? They keep buying out of the what do you call, out of the range, right? Call options, say for instance, instead of, so like he started here, so 318 strike price or 320 strike price, they're putting heavy duty call options at say somewhere here. That means market makers are also forced to buy into the stock, right? The equivalent delta we call. That comes from option knowledge. You have to have it. So all the games are being played. So they push this whole thing further up. That's what it is. So if you know how the market makers are buying their position equivalent delta, you could practically call your own shots here. That's what I do. I interpret the way in which I learn from Wall Street. Who is doing what? So I wish you learned something from this discussion, right? How to look at this picture. Not because somebody, whatever the Robin Hood or what, they tell you buy this. You do not trust anybody. You trust yourself. This is what I paid millions of dollars price when I gave all the money manager to manage my money. And I started confronting them. And I fired all of them because they lost my money. And I had to take control in my hand. And MetaStock came very, very handy. In 90s, I started learning by myself. You remember Mr. Tish used to come? He passed away, so I could talk his name. Back in days. That's how long I know him. He was one of the MetaStock fan. So, any other question?
Some comments. I'd like to put the offer up and kind of go through a couple of the comments, but
go ahead.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and do this, and I just want to kind of reiterate the offer too. So
yeah.
Let me go ahead and show my screen again. You should be able to see it, I believe. Let's see. But I need to go back one. So there's a couple things here. Let's see. Lee had came in a little bit and says, Peter's morning market analysis is insanely in-depth. And Dakari, I actually read his already, but he talks about how the morning messages really help him with this. But Dakari had another thing to say. And I actually wanted to read it. It's a pretty good testimonial. Peter has been there for me my entire trading journey with Magic Trader and his alert room service. They've been invaluable to me. For that, I have to say thank you, Peter. So we love that. We love him. And we really appreciate all the work you do. This package deal, if you want to get started, is going to include the 3 months of Magic Trader, a very, very detailed, in-depth amount of training. You not only do you get the basic training, you get the advanced recordings as well. You get the educational portal and the ebook value. So all of that's available for just $7.99. So to take advantage of that, give us a call at 800-882-3040 or visit us online at metastock.com/saleschat. So with that, I want to say thank you again, Peter, for coming in and spending some time with us today. I appreciate it. For all of you that are attending, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And we'll see you again at the next one.
Yeah, can I speak?
Yeah, of course.
All right, and I appreciate all MetaStock staff to arrange, because a lot of work behind the scene. People probably may not have an idea, but you have to appreciate how much effort they're putting in. And I appreciate everybody coming in, including the people who knows me, put some comments. They are Magic Trader subscriber, right? And they are eyewitnessing a lot of things every day, right? And hopefully we could help people and become better trader. And my game is to teach them institutional game so they don't get victimized at least. And Magic Trader allows you to find all these games. And it's pretty interesting. I love it to beat them into their game. That's what I'm up to.
Well,
And many
thank you.
times, Jeff, you don't know. I know, right? Traders, when they come in beginning, they think that, okay, these symbols we should be going higher. I'll be shorting in front of them. And they're wondering why. Because I know what is the next game. So I know it's going to reverse, right? From my experience, and I know, right, how this thing works. So they will have those same fun, right? And market works on a logic, not by emotion. Write it down. If your logic is correct, you will have a success. If you have an emotional problem, you will not succeed, right? And these market conditions are so great. There's tons of opportunity to make in shortest period of time, but risk is very high because a lot of moving parts here. So you do selective trade. That's what I do, very selective. I don't need to make millions. As long as you have positive trade, and there are traders here, I saw their name. Despite of teaching, they did emotional trade, and that took away their courage for a few months. So you don't want any losing trade or very little bit. So get out. As soon as you see you made a mistake, get out. Not coming back. Doesn't work that way. You take the losses. That's what the lessons I have learned myself. You cut the cancer off. And that's the one thing I want to give all the traders, cut it off. And no hope. What do you think doesn't matter? What market thinks, it matters.
Right.
That's where the believeness came in, to be honest with you. What they believe cumulatively around the world. And Magic Trader track these magic lines. Don't underestimate them.
Okay. Thank you again, Peter.
All right. Thank you to you, Kelly, your staff, and everybody who's still hanging out there. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. All right. We'll see you again next time. Stay healthy.
Thank you.
Stay well.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, Kelly Clement here from MetaStock. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you found it instructive and informative. If you did, what I'd like to invite you to do is go ahead and like and subscribe.
Oh, you
like
put
the
Science
video,
for Trader
subscribe to the
bumper on
channel.
those.
It helps us a great deal, and it helps us bring you more awesome content like today's video. So go ahead and like and subscribe, and keep on watching.